What's up, true Zoinked warriors? It is I, he whose mids shall not be scooped, the top of the middle shelf, Taylor from Merlock, here with another riff breakdown. Today I'm going to be breaking down Behold, the Sword of Lock, off of our upcoming album, Onward Strides Colossus, due out February 24th. This track is filled with ferocious, black metal adjacent style riffs that do not stop coming. It's the most intricate song on the album, and I think it highlights some really interesting, unsuspected influences on Merlock that are throughout this album. And it's in drop A sharp, so you know it's going to be heavy as hell. Before we get started, I want you to know something. Every time someone subscribes to every time someone likes this video, the big riff industry's mids get scooped a little more. And I can't think of a greater insult that we could bestow upon someone. So if you hate the big riff industry as much as I do, you know what to do. With that out of the way, let us behold the Sword of Lock. So the opening riff is inspired by Mutilation Rites, a black metal band out of New York. They are one of my all-time favorite black metal bands, primarily because they actually ended up being one of my entryways into the genre. I was working at a really rad record shop at the time, and the owner put their album out, and it was like the first black metal album I really connected to outside of Cradle of Filth, who I am going to talk about actually in a little bit. So what I really appreciate about black metal bands, especially like Mutilation Rites, is their ability to remain ferocious and raw while also having this incredible rhythmic sensibility and this melodic sensibility. Their album Empyrean is one of my all-time favorite albums. I listen to it regularly every fall when things start to get dreary, and this song is particularly inspired by their track off of that album, Ancient Blood Oath. So the opening riff to Behold the Sword of Lock goes like this. That's followed by this really psychedelic riff. When I was trying to make this video, I couldn't think of any band that really inspired me per se, but it does really harken back to some earlier tracks, especially kind of like the heavier psychedelic ones. It kind of has this angular vibe and reminds me a little bit of the like extended psych jam on our song Gloom Train. And this one goes like this. So we open with those two riffs that follow an A-B structure until we come to this crushing, pummeling breakdown. It's actually just the second riff played in those big, beefy power chords that everyone loves drop tunings for. So I'm not really doing anything different on this except I play the riff slower. And really, at the end of the day, that's all we're here for. So after that really crushing doom breakdown, we go into actually what is my favorite moment on the album. It is this High on Fire meets Cradle of Filth riff. It really reminds me of the epic feeling you get from something like Snakes for the Divine, but I actually built it out of frustration while I was trying to learn Heaven Torn Asunder. I couldn't quite play that riff right, and I ended up getting frustrated. And as I often do when I'm frustrated trying to learn something, I say, not today, big riff industry. I'm taking that riff back. Following that is riff 5, which is really just the same riff, but it's shifted into the next gear. Instead of playing really percussively on the low string, I move up to the 3rd string and start tremolo picking in a really traditional black metal style. This is also where I turn the delay on, because it covers up my sloppy playing. So after all of that breakneck insanity, we erupt into this beautiful, operatic, melodic part, which begins the outro of the song. To conclude the song, I move that riff up a little bit on the neck and begin slowly leading into the next track, Where No One Goes, which is actually going to be the next single we release. I've always loved when songs flow into one another, going back to my early days loving Tool and songs like Parable and Parabola that move seamlessly into one another. So I was really pleased that I found an opportunity to create a really natural, fluid transition between these two songs. So much for checking out this riff breakdown of Behold the Sword of Lock. It is due out on our next album, Onward Strides Colossus, which will be out on February 24th. If you liked this video, be sure to like, subscribe, click the bell. I don't know what the bell is, but I know it hurts the big riff industry. We also just put out a music video for Behold the Sword of Lock. It'll pop up here if you'd like to check that out. It's also on Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, wherever you listen to your music, and pre-orders for the album are live now. So until next time, keep your mids cranked, stay zoinked, and remember to always despise the big riff industry.